Hi, I'm Jilly G. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make my gluten-free pork chops, mashed potatoes, and zucchini. The star of the show today will be my pork chops because of the honey mustard sauce we'll be baking them in. And I've got 6 bone-in pork chops and they fit really nicely in my 9x13. They are overlapping just a little bit and that's fine. And I need to preheat my oven to 350. I have a really large pan over here with Yukon Gold potatoes and they're coming up to a boil with some water and salt. So now for the sauce for our pork chops. Really minimal ingredients but so delicious. And this recipe, in fact I think the longest time consuming part of this recipe is the bake time, but it doesn't take very long. But cooking the mashed potatoes seems to take the longest for this recipe. In my measuring cup here, I've got a 1/4 cup of honey. In goes 3 tablespoons of olive oil. This is a 1/4 cup of horseradish mustard. Now, if you're marinating the pork chops in this sauce, you could put them on the grill or put them on a smoker, but then you wouldn't have the delicious pan sauce to go with your potatoes. Oh, geez. Don't make a mess. Get your mustard in the bowl. I'm using 2 different mustards today. Horseradish mustard, which is this one, and a Dijon mustard. You don't have to use 2 different kinds, and you can use your favorite mustard. I just happen to really like this horseradish mustard, and I really like Dijon mustard. But any mustard will work. And so this is a 1/4 cup of Dijon mustard in there. And for the spices, I've got a 1/2 teaspoon each of salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and paprika. And then I have 1 teaspoon of thyme. And this is thyme that I dried that was from my garden last year. All in there. And I'm using my little whisk today because I've got that honey in the bottom. So you really want to give this a good stir. Get it all mixed together. And like so many of my recipes, if there's a spice that you really like with pork chops, put that in. If one of these is one that you don't like, leave it out. This is just the combination that I like. As you can see, it does not make a lot of sauce to go with our mashed potatoes, but it is enough. And I usually make a garlic cheese mashed potato to go with these pork chops because they still have really good flavor and then you don't need a lot of sauce. But if you are the type of person that really likes a lot of gravy or a lot of sauce, then you can just double the sauce recipe and make it the exact same way and then you'd have more sauce. And once you've got that all mixed together, and for that matter, if you don't have any honey, use maple syrup. It would change the flavor a little bit, but it would absolutely work in this recipe. So my pork chops, they do have the bone in, but they still are very thin. Now we just pour our sauce on top. If you were gonna grill your chops, you could have this sauce on the side and then baste it on when they're almost finished cooking. I'm just gonna spread this out kind of so they're evenly coated. There we go. You can cover this with foil if you want to, but I usually don't. And then once I get this in the oven, I set my timer for about 15 minutes, and then I'll usually come in and flip them around, spread the sauce around, and then bake them for another 15 minutes, and then I start checking the temperature. My oven is My oven is preheated. Now these go in the oven and I'll start checking in about 15 minutes. I do want to get my hot pads ready for when I'm ready to check on the pork. And then I do have some more salt and pepper. I don't even have it measured. It's just what I'm going to sprinkle on my zucchini, and then whatever is left I'll put on my mashed potatoes. And one of my favorite ways to have zucchini is just pan fried in some butter. It makes such a delicious side dish. So of course we cut the ends off here. And you might live in a place where you're already getting some zucchini. I don't have any zucchini yet, but hopefully soon. I'm going to turn that burner down just a little bit. You can hear it boiling. And you can cut these in as big or as small of pieces as you like. I love really fast, easy weeknight dinners like this. They really are delicious, nothing fancy at all. But fancy enough that you could serve it for a Sunday dinner. And maybe you don't like zucchini. Use your favorite green vegetable. Brussels sprouts, broccoli, or it doesn't even have to be green. You could go with cauliflower, green beans, whatever you like. And you don't even have to pan fry these in butter. You could pan fry them in olive oil. You could roast them in the oven the same time that you're cooking your pork chops. Whatever you like to do. My pork chops have about 5 more minutes before I take them out and flip them over. So I'm going to get my zucchini started. And I've got, about 2 tablespoons of butter in here. So I'm going to turn my frying pan on about medium-high heat. My potatoes are almost done. And I always find it so useful to use your masher to lift up the potatoes to test with a fork. I've got about 1.5 cups of Parmesan cheese. Probably about 3/4 cup of mayonnaise, and then 1/4 cup of butter. And then I also have about 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder. Now, if I had planned ahead and I bought more garlic at the grocery store, I would have roasted my garlic in the oven, and I've shown you how to do that here on my channel as well. But you roast the garlic, and then you just squish it all out, and it's like garlic jelly. It's delicious. But then I would just throw it in with my mashed potatoes, and then they're garlic Parmesan mashed potatoes. Absolutely delicious. I didn't plan ahead very well, and I didn't get the garlic. But garlic powder still adds really good flavor to the mashed potatoes. And now that my butter is melted, I'm going to go in with all of my zucchini. I'm going to add my salt and pepper. This is always to taste, however much or little that you like. And then the rest of my salt and pepper will go for my potatoes. Perfect timing, my potatoes are almost finished. If you guys could smell this, and I know it doesn't look that much different, but I do like to get in here and flip them over and then cover them with the sauce. As you can see, it really is not a lot of sauce. But this way, the sauce can kind of get underneath and just give them a lot more flavor. And then both sides have sauce. And that's all it took. Just kind of flip them over, flip them around. There we go. So these will go back in the oven for about 10 to 15 more minutes. You want the internal temperature to be about 145. And then I bring these back to the burner. They can dry out a little bit and stay warm at the same time. I'm going to stick my butter in there just to help it melt. You can cut it up so it melts faster, but this works just fine. And then just get in here and start mashing. I usually leave my skins on my potatoes. I think it just adds a nice texture to a mashed potato. I also like a really chunky mashed potato. Check on your zucchini. Once I've got them mashed to the consistency that I like, I switch to my spatula so I can get in there and stir everything around. Don't forget about your zucchini. To our mashed potatoes. In goes our cheese, my mayonnaise, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and give all of this a really good stir. And this is exactly what I like my zucchini to do. I like it to get pan fried just like this. Another 10 minutes has gone by. I so wish you guys could smell these. They smell so good. I put my tongs in the dishwasher. And I'm pretty sure they're done, but let's test them just to be sure. And you want to make sure to not go through the pork chop and touch the side of the pan. And don't touch the bone either. So we need a temperature of at least 145, and we're doing really well. So in less than, I wouldn't even say a full 45 minutes, we have a delicious dinner. And I don't know about you, but this is my favorite way to eat zucchini. And I might have said that before, because I love zucchini. And we do have a little bit of extra sauce down here. It does get more liquidy after cooking with the meat. Here we go. Mashed potatoes, pan-fried zucchini. Give ourselves a pork chop here. So not a lot of sauce, but certainly enough to have a little extra on your pork chop and a little on your mashed potatoes. But remember, these are garlic cheese mashed potatoes, delicious by themselves. Okay, move this out of the way. I love dinners like this. They're delicious, they're good for you, and they come together so fast. Okay, go in for the pork chop first. Trying to make less of a sizzling sound. And everything's really hot. That is so good. That honey mustard sauce is absolutely delicious. And I love the combination of the horseradish mustard and the Dijon mustard. It all goes together so well. My pan-fried zucchini. Perfect. And now for my mashed potatoes. I make these mashed potatoes a lot, by the way. Again, they're delicious by themselves, but with this little extra pan sauce, even better. So good. You gotta make this dinner. It is so delicious. Even if you don't like zucchini, it is not the star of the show. Swap it out for your favorite vegetable. And if it's a really hot summer day, I don't know about you, but I don't enjoy hot mashed potatoes on a hot summer day. It's just too filling and too hot. These pork chops are delicious with a macaroni salad, a potato salad, even a simple coleslaw, which would still be a really fast, easy dinner. Let me know what you think if you make this recipe. I hope you do. It really is so delicious. Nothing fancy at all, but the sauce makes it feel fancy enough for a Sunday dinner. And you can make this with any mustard that you like. But the Dijon mustard and the horseradish mustard, they both add such great flavor. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any questions or comments, let me know, and I'll see you on the next one.